Hello guys, good afternoon. This is my first official YouTube video which is actually about my profession and I feel so good about it, and I'm making to help out especially to my juniors and especially to the people who are from retail background and who are sailing with how can I say, with the people from other nationalities, especially for those cadets who are doing their sailing with nationalities of Middle East, or who are doing the sail, or who are sailing with the Eastern European people. I've generally seen since when I was sailing, when it was my first sailing, I was sailing with Syrians and Egyptians on board, and Lebanese I even had few Lebanese on board. The main problem which I faced was the communication. Communication is key to everything. If you don't have a proper communication, you cannot learn, and you cannot even obey the order properly. If you are not able to communicate, you are not able to understand the order. So the first basic thing which has to be done by every cadet when it joins the ship on board is to trace pipelines. So today we are going to talk about pipelines. Pipelines is something which I am very fond of, which I love to talk about, and which is a very important concept. Pipelines, I'll tell you about my first experience when I joined the ship. When it was around 10:30 p.m. in the night, and I was awake for around 35 hours. I didn't have to sleep, and it was a small ship though. It was only 100-meter small ship with 3 floors and engine room. It was simple, but when I went on board, my chief engineer was like, "Oh, come on, I need one man, Vardiya." I was like, what the hell he's trying to talk to me, because he didn't know even a single word of English. In Arabic, Vardiya means duty, watch. What he was trying to tell me is, with me, I joined, and with me there was one oiler, and there was no one else on the ship. Only chief engineer was there. So he needed 1 month between me and the other guy who joined with me to go in the engine room for the watch. So since the other guy who joined with me was quite elder to me, he was 47 and I was 19 then, I told him, "Sir, you please go to sleep. I'll work till morning 6 o'clock." It was 10:30 in the night time, and I still know I just had one pizza on board which was made by chief cook, and I just dressed up in my overall. I wear my boiler suit and all my personal protective equipment, and I was heading down towards the engine room. The ship was very old, could we say. It was 1970. It was very classic ship. The ship had all the specification designed in such a way that if you read it in the book, the same technology you will find on the ship, because there's all the books which you study in the market, all the technologies which are written inside the book, these are 30 to 40 years old, and that is what they had on the ship which I sailed on. So as soon as I went inside the engine room, it was like the pipelines were coming from left, from right, from up, from down. There was not even proper color coding. There was not even proper plating of the valve. There was no color bands which are to be fixed on the pipelines for the identification purpose. There was nothing. There was no drawings. There was nothing which could help me to trace a pipeline. So, in order to trace your pipelines in the most easiest manner, I will tell you the few steps. The first thing, as soon as when you join your ship, you go to your control room. In your control room, in either corner, either it's port, starboard, aft or forward, either corner, you will see your ship your ship specific code for the pipelines. For example, in general, it will be shown like the gray color is for the compressor pipelines, yellow color is for the lube oil, dark brown is for the fuel oil, red color is for diesel oil, or pink color is for diesel oil, green color is for seawater, dark blue is for fresh HD water, light blue is for LT water, and some ships also have double bands of double bands of light blue and single band of white or black for compressed air for the pneumatic pipelines, and black color for your bilges or your seaways. Like different ships or different yards, they make different specifications. For example, if a ship is built in European shipyard, they might have pink color for the compressed air pipeline. But if the ship is made in the Chinese shipyard, they might have gray color for the compressed air pipeline. So you have to be ship specific. First thing is you trace that. Second thing is every valve has number on it. Everything has their name. Every pipeline which is made, every pipeline has its name, every valve has its name, every filter has its name, everything has a serial number, or valve has a valve number on it. So when you are tracing the pipeline, for example, if you want to trace the pipeline which is taking suction from the sludge tank and delivering it to the waste oil tank, you have to start right from the sludge tank. I have seen that many junior engineers, when they come on board, they often get confused. Generally, they know. When we tell them, when we send them to take the sounding for sludge tank, they go to the sounding pipe of the sludge tank. Of course, the sounding pipe is mounted on the sludge tank. So the valve has to be somewhere around the sounding pipe. So first thing is you check the valve. You check in the drawing, you check the valve number, which is taking the suction from the sludge tank. You write down that valve number. I'll, in a better way of how to make it in a rough way, I'll give you a demo. Just a second. I'll open one system of my ship and my previous ship and my computer, and we'll discuss about that. Yeah. Final drawings, machinery, and let's say. Generally, your diagram sort of somewhat looks like that. Yeah. So as you can see, sorry, I don't have proper equipments to catch the proper video right now, but as you guys might have seen that on the diagram, you will see that there is a proper valve number is there. We have the pipeline specifications about their diameter, about the inner diameter, the outer diameter, the thickness, and everything whatever you need is right over there. If there is a spectacle flange, blind flange, either the valve is non-retain type, it's a globe valve, it's a gate valve, it's a butterfly valve, the direction of flow of the liquid, everything is written right there in the diagram. You just have to read it. You just have to read the diagram properly in order to trace the pipeline. So let's say today I washed up the exhaust gas boiler. Yeah. So after washing the exhaust gas boiler, we collected all the soot in the soot collecting tank after washing. So now we are sailing, and my chief, it's been around a month and we are sailing, and since we are in the open sea, my chief engineer advises me to, he tells me, okay good, you go, and today would be a good opportunity for us to discharge all the soot which we have collected in the soot collecting tank using adductor. It will be a good time to discharge it overboard. So why don't you why don't you discharge it? So I'm like, okay, yes, but I don't know where is the soot collecting tank. I don't know where is the adductor. I don't know any shit about it. So what I do is, first thing I take the diagram. I check the soot collecting tank. If in some diagrams they make it so good that next to the tank they also put the location where the tank is located. If the location is not given, then you have to go into your engine room and you have to check where the tank is. Then you check. You make your diagram like this. First you check into the diagram, you draw the soot collecting tank. From soot collecting tank, you will, since in the diagram I am seeing that there are total 3 lines which are going to the discharge line. So one is from this side of the tank, one is from the other side of the tank, and one is from the overflow side which is going via side glass. So all 3 lines have a different valves on it. So since the tank is not overflowing, I don't need to open this valve. I just have to open this and this valve. So you mark down the valve. The name of this valve is EX09B. The name of this valve is EX08B. Okay. And this line, one line is going to bilge holding tank. Bilge holding tank. But we don't want our soot to go to bilge holding tank. So we can isolate this line by closing valve EX14B. What we want is to discharge this soot via adductor to overboard. So this line, you isolate the line which is going to bilge holding tank by closing valve EX14B, and then you just leave this line open, and this is the driving water for the adductor is coming from the main fire pump line. So in order to drive the adductor, you have to start the fire pump and you have to open valve EX01B. This line is coming from the fire main. So what you have to do is, you just have to start the fire pump. Before starting the fire pump, you call bridge. You tell them that I want to start the fire pump. So you just ask them if they have opened, if they have left any hydrant open on that, or if they have kept any line open in the hose pipe or the chain locker room or whatsoever on the deck, in order for the pressure to release. If you close this valve and if the pump is running and if no valve is open, the line will get pressurized and it might burst the pipeline. So every time you start the fire pump, even for the engine work purpose, you call the bridge and you inform them, I want to start the fire pump. After you start the fire pump, before you start the fire pump, you inform them, and after you open this driving water line, you open EX08, EX09 for the suction of the tank, and then you open the overboard discharge valve X15V. Okay, so this is how you make a short diagram of what you see in the main diagram. You make a shorter version in your pocket diary and you go down to the engine room, and this is how you trace it. This the proper tracing of the pipeline has to be done in this manner. And sometimes the color coding of is given. Since this all comes in the soot collecting line, the color coding of this, I remember on my ship was black. So sometimes if you are not able to, suppose next to your soot collecting tank there are n number of pipeline. So in order to make out that which pipeline is which, there will be valve on it, EX14, EX15V. So from the valve you can see, yeah, since this on this line there is this valve is there, so yeah, this is the line in which the soot will go. But there are some lines on which the valve is on the another platform and the pipeline is on the another platform. It's very hard to trace. So during that you can use the color coding of the pipeline. Alright. So pipeline is not a tricky concept. It's just you have to understand from where which line is coming and from where which line is going. Generally when the pump is considered, when the system like the pumping systems are considered, the complex system, you start tracing the system from the pump. Like let's say we will just take our boiler feed water system. Okay, talk about boiler feed water system now. Boiler feed water system pipeline. Okay, so if you are designing, if you join a new ship, you get only 8 days to take over the full operation and the full responsibilities which belongs to you. You don't get more than 8 days. You have to get your spare parts. You have to check your spare parts within that 8 days. You have to learn about your machineries, their histories, their common maintenance, their actions to be taken in case of emergency, from which pipeline is coming, which is going. You have to get that thing straightened up within 8 days. You don't have more than a week. And that's why you are sent over there, because you have your experience. For example, in any kind of ship, what we learn in our colleges, the feed water will take a suction from the gasket tank. It will give to the boiler. In boiler, it will convert into steam. The steam will send it to the various zones, and from the various zone it will come back. To the atmospheric condenser. In atmospheric condenser, the steam will condensate and it will come back to gasket tank. So this is the system which I know by heart, and this is the common system which is gonna be there everywhere with slight modifications. So let's see what modifications we have it over here. So any system which you are gonna get into your rough notes, I'll advise you should start with the pump. So let's say our feed water pump. We have 2 pumps, we have both suction, and you don't need to put the valve number over here, because you know your feed pumps, and of course the inlet will be suction, the outlet, of course, yeah. No engineer is that dumb. But for junior engineers, in order to know which side is suction, which side is discharge, you can know by the direction in the diagram that this is the suction side, this is the discharge side, because the direction, the arrow is pointing towards here. So it's taking suction from here, discharge from here. So for the junior engineers, for the cadets, it's better you write down the valve number of every valve before you carry out any operation. Okay. From here, the line is going to the boiler. But before it goes to the boiler, there is one line which is coming from the chemical dosing unit for the injection of the chemical in the line. Dosing unit. Okay. And there is a valve over here, FE070. So before you start the dosing pump, you make sure this valve is open, otherwise your dosing pump will get fucked up. Alright. And then it goes to the boiler. From boiler, the feed water is converted into the steam and goes to the various rooms. Okay. On boiler you have two valves. Alright. So one is BO007V and BO006V. You have two valves, and one is non-return valve and one is normal globe valve, screw left and screw down valve. So in order, if the boiler pressure is too much, the water should not come back, the steam should not come back in this line. That's why there is a non-return valve over here. So the water will go only inside, it will come back. Okay, that's why to prevent the back pressure in the line, we have a non-return valve over here. Also, while you are studying the diagram, you should also understand why there is a non-return valve, why there is not a normal left valve, etc. 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 You have to understand the engineering of the system, that why the maker has put the non-return valve over here, why the maker has put a needle valve over here, why the maker has put a spring-loaded non-return valve. Some valves, they don't have handle, they are just spring-loaded. They will just lift and they will set. You cannot control them. They are automatically controlled by the tension of the spring. Alright. So from the zones it will come to the atmospheric condenser, where it will condensate, and the line will go to the cascade tank. In cascade tank, from cascade tank, the line will come and it will go to the salinometer. It will go to the salinometer. Okay. In order, sometimes if you have to carry out any work in the salinometer, you have a bypass valve over here. You close this valve, you open this valve. So you can take out the salinometer, you can clean the salinity cell, or if you want to replace the salinity cell, you can replace it and you can put it out. And after that, the line goes back over here. So it's a very simple system. It's the same system which I have learned on the previous tips and my music. So the main point what I'm trying to make with you guys over here is that on every system you go, you should make these diagrams. Instead of sitting in your control room, sipping a coffee, having a cigarette and just opening a diagram and looking over it, it won't stay in your mind. But if you put that diagram into your understanding, like I have done it over here, if you put that diagram into your understanding, into your own language which you are able to understand, you might remember this shit throughout your lifetime. There are different ships which have different systems, like for cooling water system, for boiler water system, etc. etc. There are different ships having a different system, and as an engineer, when you go on board, it's very hard to understand. But if you are good with your pipelines, and if you do this practice more often, it will be very good and beneficial to you when you go and join your new ship. Because if I join a new ship, I know boiler is on the top platform and the feed water valves on the boiler will be on the top platform of the boiler. There will be cascade tank. It will be either on the control room platform or it will be on the one platform below control room, but it won't be more bottom that way. Where will be feed water pumps? It will be either on the same level as cascade tank or it will be either on the most bottom platform. On the bilge platform, it will be over there. Where will be the bilge pump? It will be on the bilge platform. Where will be splash pump? It will also be on the bilge platform. Where will I find seawater pump? I'll find 3 seawater pumps on the bottom platform. Where I'll find LT water pumps? I'll find LT water pumps on the either I'll find it on the bottom platform or the one platform above that on the same platform where I'll find the cylinder head of the engine. So these are the few things which are basic, which you will learn by doing the diagrams, by learning about the new systems, and by constantly observing the ships which you go, what kind of systems you have. So what I'll advise is, from now on, every time, to all juniors, to all the cadets and fourth engineers out there, whenever you join a new ship, generally the fourth engineers are in charge for all the sludge, bilge and oil related operations. What I'll advise you is, within 2 days, it won't take more than 3 hours to put all the diagrams into the rough format and to trace it. Trust me, it won't take more than 3 hours. So it will be good that if you learn the color coding of the system and all the main valves, you put the number and everything on the rough paper, and then you get done with it. Okay, I hope this video will help you in some sort of manner. That's it. Thank you. See you in my next video. The next video I'm thinking to do is about, more or less about purification systems, or I'm gonna talk about boiler in a more deeper manner. So let's see how it goes. Alright, take care guys, see ya till then, bye.